What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a debut mixtape or a relative debut mixtape by Flock as far as whose pitch is going to happen. Basically, this product is called Flocka and it came out in the late spring of 2021. Now within fairs like this, as far as these fairs going to happen, he had a series of products, one of which was the DOA tape, one of which was the DOA tape, the care package as far as these fairs going to happen. So one of which was called the DOA tape, the care package. The other one was DOA tape, and then there's a further type product, Make America Flock Again, good pitches like that. Within these ordeals, as far as the fair is going to happen, this is more or less seemingly one of the come up type ones. Now, the information truly is full bound. The information seemingly is full bound about K-Flock is not superbly kind of known within pitches like that. Rate Your Music has a decent aspect to some of his discography, but it's kind of within pitch, not knowing every last thing that he did. But particularly it seems more or less, considering that more or less K-Flock was born in 2003, pitches like that, it's kind of the ordeals. This seems like this is one of his initial type products, considering he would have been 17, 18 around this time as far as these fairs going to happen. But it's excellent type pitch. Classic drill product here. Once again, the fury of what drill was getting to in the 2020s is the evolution of what things were kind of happening from thinking of like early 2010s drill pitches like that, thinking of Flocka and Yo Gotti and Meek Mill, folks like that, Rick Ross, bunch of folks that were kind of getting towards that tumultuous type fair pitches like that within that viciousness kind of ordeal. 2020s drill pitches like that, folks like Pop Smoke, folks like Pop Smoke and 504 and Central C and Pooh Shiesty, some of these type folks within particular, it's about just a number of these type folks, but for the most part, minus more or less like, particularly a Central C as far as minus more or less Central C within these pitches. 2020's drill has been marred by quite a few aspects of either prison sentences or early deaths, pitches like that, some of these type of ordeals. So it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying. But then Central C kind of tended to catch some backlash as well within these pitches. So it's just kind of the form. But this is a blistering type product, very unfortunate. Just a real vicious type album cover pitch like that. Just the aspect like the viciousness that probably should be around in a lot more formats within these things. The unfortunate enough type aspect is this mixtape has more or less been mostly removed from the internet within these pitches. Now you can still find the songs individually, but in terms of like the complex being able to purchase this, it seems like it's just not as much within the aspect of the aspect of the availability. Now within certain type fairs, some of these songs were also thrown on like the DOA tape from the fall of 2021 pitch like that. So within these ordeals, there were 10 songs on here according to the Spotify edition pitches like that, but at least 4 of these songs, Brotherly Love, Op Spotter, T Cardi, and Don't Trip, as far as these pitches can happen, are all to be found on further projects. And there's also a song that wasn't as full bound. Sure, there's one particular song that was very elusive within these pitches, which is DOA Everything Dead. So there is a song, there's 2 songs to this. It's kind of strange within these appeals, but one of which, DOA, which is a number of fairs about. I couldn't necessarily find the full bound DOA Everything Dead because there's a song by K-Flock simply called DOA, and there's also a song simply called Everything Dead by K-Flock. So it's kind of pitch getting 2 songs. One's called DOA, one's called Everything Dead. So it's kind of pitch for us saying, trying to figure out which particular one. The factoid of the song that was originally called DOA Everything Dead is like a combined title, is no longer available, and I couldn't find it on YouTube and places like that. So it's kind of appeal as far as saying it's kind of a mystery. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the song. I'm gonna, considering the fact that I talked about DOA in the past when I reviewed K-Flock earlier this year, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Everything Dead because within those pitches, that's a pretty dope song within these pitches. I'm not full bound sure if that's the song that was originally on Flocka from 2021, but I'm gonna talk about that one. Just within the randomness of that, particularly not being on a product seemingly within pitches like that. But just to say, this mixtape, simple enough, gets a 10 out of 10. The remaining 6 songs that have not shown up on products or were exclusive to this product for like the fair of it for what it's worth within exclusive like the fair of it for the worth of it as far as these pitching out within the excellent type of ordeals. The pitch to say this is the Furious type album. So there's still 6 songs to talk about on here. So those 6 songs would be War, Terrorize, Whisper, Shh, Maneuver, Everything Dead, which is kind of the pitch. Like I said, that's the question mark of a song because I couldn't find his full bound where that song originated, and then Flame On Part 2, so it's within the pitches. But talk about Everything Dead, this is a nice one here within these pitches, at least that particular side. Once again, I don't know if the DOA Everything Dead is a separate type song, but at least Everything Dead is a nice one. It's like a good breakfast and sober up type song pitch like that. I'd say to some early moments, I would definitely feel like Hash Browns and Blueberry Swisher Sweet, some of these type of ordeals definitely within the product. It's overall lit type feeling. So it's kind of the pitch, it's kind of a separate, it kind of has a quick type pace within a relative type aspect, but it does good for like a drill type song, just having like some different variations. Like this type of styles, usually drill is pretty blissed out, kind of hammered commerce pitch like that to really stun out to. It's kind of a pitch of this differential type where it switches the tone up considerably. Just slows it down with like a DJ drama kind of this breakfast type sample pitch like that. Some of the type ordeals that just feels like having an elaborate kind of amount of pancakes, hash browns, have an elaborate amount of pancakes, hash browns, maybe like some Crown Royal tops, maybe like some Crown Royal, top it off within certain type senses, some Beezy's nearby, just nice relative type satin for Beezy's in a cozy type fit as far as these pitch kind of section type ordeals within the aspect behind a good type fare. So the rest of these kind of have the viciousness type aspect, like particularly Flame 'em Part 2. This is one of the few songs that you can still hear on like the Spotify edition of Flocka as far as these pitch can have the section type ordeals, like traditional. Flame 'em Part 2 is traditional kind of poo shiesty and pop smoke type drill pitch just like that. It's like a morbid kind of Dracula commerce to get in like a 2020s kind of flame pitch just like that. Some of these type of ordeals. Just a drill slammer, I would definitely say woofers blown kind of nights as far as these pitch kind of goes. Dismiss the aspect like the ferocity, kind of traditional type drill with an aspect, at least in the 2020s type fashion, that really has something that just really tears things up within the pitch like the form of really getting scraped and pitched like that within the ordeal. Just really having the ravenous type appeal. Good type product. Nails the shredding factor real high within pitches like that. Maneuvers a quality one within these aspects as well as like a wounded and creepy kind of paranoia damage kind of get within these aspects. It's ready to ride pitches like that. It's a Tupac style kind of carnage, I'd say here. Good song. The pensiveness and kind of the tension about this song reminds me of like a Holla at Me type song pitches like that. Some of those type fares of this. One of those type fares where it just feels like possibly if you're thinking of like a homie or something like that that may not, just within the aspect, not to say full bound projecting and predicting it, but just kind of fair if you're just kind of within the worry type fair is just saying, hey, this folk might drive home drunk or something like that. Some type of ordeals where it's just kind of a loose cannon pitch like that where you don't know what's going to happen. It's just kind of a Holla at Me type song, get some straightening kind of going within pitch like that as far as just keeping the lid on things as far as those fairs going to happen. So just kind of keep your ducks in a row with your pals, pitches like that. Some type of ordeals, dismiss the fashion like the lake shift kind of blur pitches like that. Some type of ordeals. Another quick type song with just nails the appeal behind this. Good. The ferocity is lessened within those pitches to have the straightening about as far as those pitches have sex and type of ordeals. Terrorize is a nice one on here. It's like a ghoulish and erratic kind of schizo wandering kind of get within these aspects within the product of it. Just some city streets kind of trip out pitches like that. Kind of a mortified. Songs like some mortified kind of cruises as far as these fairs going to go. It's real erratic within fairs like that. This kind of has like traces like horrorcore kind of in here. It's an interesting type pitch to get like some 2020s drill mixed with horrorcore as far as those pitches can happen. Just kind of missed that aspect, but just definitely some sort of product that just really having like a pretty like definitely having a pretty horrid and just overall feral type head trip pitches like that within those type of ordeals where you would be kind of wandering, just trying to keep your composure pitches like that, but also within the cruise type aspect, just to miss like the commerce of this real shrill type turn up pitch like that, just some definite kind of fall type fare, autumn type fare that really has the aspect like some shrillness within those aspects. Whisper is a nice one within these pitches as well. It's like a syrupy kind of mortified malaise kind of get here. I definitely say it's one of the most haunting ones off this album. Good pitches like that. Just clearing head from like some lamb based as far as these pitches can happen. Excellent within those ordeals. It's really the aspect of just really marred as hell pitch like that. Just some demon time surf I'd say within these aspects here. Just kind of get on top of that. Just kind of the cruise rounds just real gnarled. This is the sort of stuff that just kind of stupefies people. I'd probably say within the aspect of just hearing this within the tone. Just something that's just not traditional with like the usual type carnage that goes to like complex kind of speakers and radio pitch like that. It's a very crunchy type song, so just to miss the pitch. This is a real taste of some of these type of things within the viciousness that probably should have been permeating throughout this decade as far as these first happen. I mean, I think within aspects there are certain aspects that kind of that still has some degree of variety left, but it's just kind of within the pitch. Some of these type ones, it's a real secret type song, real nice one to pay attention to. There's plenty of these on here, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying some of these type ones are just real syrupy and just kind of hypnotically, kind of emphatically, kind of vicious. It's just kind of ordeal as far as saying just some real torment on here. Yeah, excellent type appeal, real crunchy type one, like I was saying. Whisper really nails the appeal behind it. War is a quality one on here as well within these aspects, real blistering type ones, like a sheer and horrific kind of sedate drill night to kind of get within these aspects. This War is a vicious type one off this album as well within these pitches, like a sheer and horrific kind of sedate drill night streaks kind of go within these aspects here. Just get some air definitely and some nachos, some of these nearby type phrase pitches like that within the aspect. Just sit on some drops as far as these pairs going to go. So dismiss the pitch, just kind of some contemplate here, kind of in between type moments, just within a surfing type sense within the aspect. Going pretty quickly within these pairs, just some blistering type speeds within the aspect, but not within. It's sedate for drill, for 2020s drill as far as those aspects going to happen. Probably like a 7.25 in terms of energy type factor with like the fierceness. Most of the sounds kind of more cranked up to 10 and 11 pitches like that, but it's this kind of ordeal. There's some 7 type factor within some of these type pitches within the tone. It's kind of relatively kind of steadfast as cruise around, this easy type fair, just stunt type nice within a kind of just lambent type sense, pitches like that, but just good product. Just kind of get some air, like I was saying, get some nachos from Taco Bell, some of those type products, just some good snacks, goodies type fare, just from the products, some turn up. It's kind of in between type sessions for, yeah, sitting on those drops, pitches like that. So it's within the ordeal. It's a good products about this album, like I was saying, good pitches like that. So 10 out of 10 album slash mixtape slash EP within these pitches, within these ordeals. It's referred to as a mixtape according to Rate Your Music, so mixtape, but within these aspects, it is a retail mixtape, so within the fairs. Just be able to say, so the social score I'm going to go ahead and give, more or less, I would give it a 10 out of 10, but it's just going to pitch the commonplace. There's really not too many ways to pick up these songs. I'm not sure if it really has the right to be able. I'm not sure the full-bound aspect of being able to purchase this product as to how to get a hold of some of these type ones, like some of the most vicious ones on here, like the Whisper Shh song, and then like Flame 'em Part 2, some of these type pitches that feel like they should be available. This makes you question how you go about these. It's just kind of pitch as far as saying within the product. I'm going to go ahead and give the score of this, the social, in terms of the quality, is definitely a 10 out of 10, but just the availability makes it less complex within those aspects. So it's kind of probably 9.75, but this traditional type romps and 2020s drill type fast is very similar to Pop Smoke, Pooh, Shiesty, Central C, some of these type folks, other folks like that, 5E04 and good pitches, just that traditional kind of viciousness, this in a more horror type flavor, very blood red pitches like that, this real Dracula wine type night pitches like that, this real horrific good fares like that, just a real creeping type aspect, really has some shrill typeness. So just the fair as far as saying these, it's the product you get these stunt nights, you pick up some nachos, some of these type fares, at least one breakfast song on here pitched like that, but for the most part just that stunt kind of craziness, some ones that kind of have some paranoia, dismiss the aspect, getting some shit done on top of that, just some of these type ones. It's not as full bound designated within the pitch, but just kind of the product of roping up those things. It's a more blistering type speed where it just has more stunt kind of pizzazz and flash within it, but it's just kind of fair, just having like those extra type fairs was just within the aspect of kind of within the leftover type moments or the wrap up of moments of just getting some of that commerce done, and then just kicking the crank up to like 10 and 11 pitches like that within some ordeal. So this nails it, but just being steadfast and tighten it to the point where you don't have to worry about as much like the usual makeshift kind of slags. That this is like post those particular makeshift hours, but it's just kind of pitch of just that being because you're usually that fastidious. So pitches like that, it's a good type of product. So 10 social or 9.75 or 10, I'd say 9.75 because of the availability, but actually 10 out of 10 within the quality. So it's pitches like that. So in terms of the future, unfortunate thing now, within the fairs, K-Flock did drop a project in the summer or fall of 2024, pitches like that, but he hasn't dropped since then. He's got aspects with the legality fairs, pitches like that, so it's kind of within the fray of what's going to happen within those pitches. But hopefully within these aspects we get some more products. The more you continue to fuck with some of these products, the more you realize about the viciousness of some of these type of ordeals. It's really aspects for us saying that this is harrowing type stuff, that this is ahead of the times. Definitely I'd say folks are going to look back on some of these type of products and say what the hell happened, where did this go, pitches like that. So it's definitely the phrase saying this is futuristic, good pitch like that. Does it taste like some good furious type bites? It definitely needs to happen way more often, and we need more products from this folk, I definitely say.